my name is Jessica from Sallie Tomato. I'm going to show you how easy it is to sew a buttonhole using your sewing machine. I've already marked where the back end of my buttonhole is going to be on my fabric. So let me show you the buttonhole foot. I've measured how big I want my buttonhole to be, and it will go from the second to last line and stitch all the way to the front red dashed line. So begin by adding the foot on the machine, and let's put our fabric underneath. And we'll want the black marked line in line with the foot, and move this so that way the arrow is on the red line that we want to start at. So lower this over that marked line. And for our machine settings, we're going to turn the stitch selector to number 1. And the stitch length will be in this green area, so the machine knows that we're going to sew on a buttonhole. On the stitch display over here, you can see for the buttonhole number 1, it will sew from the back to the front. Then it will bar tack for number 2. Then we're going to move to number 3, and it's going to sew the opposite side of the buttonhole backwards, and number 4 will bar tack at the very end. So back at our machine, we're ready to sew. We're on number 1 and in the green area for the length, so we could just go ahead and let the machine sew for us. It's going to do a tight zigzag. And then slow down as your arrow points to that last red mark. And turn your hand wheel so the take-up lever is at the highest point before you turn to the next stitch. So we'll turn to number 2, and it will do the bar tack. And do about 8 to 10 stitches with your needle at the highest position, then turn to number 3, and it will sew backwards. And slow down as you reach that tick line that we noted for our button, and turn back to number 4. Then we can remove the fabric from underneath our needle and trim your threads. And we have stitched our buttonhole and we're ready to cut. For this step, you'll need a seam ripper and a pin. So insert the pin through the end of the buttonhole, and we're going to seam rip from this end to where the pin is, and the pin will prevent us from ripping through the end of this buttonhole. So just stick it through the fabric and seam rip very carefully between your stitches. And you'll feel that it'll stop once you hit the pin. And now you know how easy it is to sew a buttonhole on your sewing machine. For more of my BL9 adventures, click on any of the tutorial videos. Thanks for watching!